Today on America's Test Kitchen.
I'm absolutely sure you have one of these at home, which is an 8-inch chef's knife, and does almost all the heavy-duty work in the kitchen. But when it comes to slicing, you may not have a slicing knife, and you need it when it comes to a big piece of ham or meat. You want a nice, thin, even slice. So I'm here in the equipment corner with Adam, who's tested slicing knives. Will tell us about how they work and hopefully which one to buy. And not an expensive one, please.
I'll do my best, Chris. You know, before we talk about the lineup, let's have you try and cut a nice, thin, attractive slice from that piece of ham with that 8-inch chef's knife.
Yeah, I mean...
What do you think?
Well, I get a slice, but it's about half.
Exactly.
It's not long enough, among other things.
You know, if you're going to go to the trouble to make a big, beautiful roast beef or ham for a celebration or a holiday, you want nice, big, even slices, not a shaggy little thing like that. Why don't you give it a try with one of our nice long slicing knives here?
Okay. Well, it's certainly long enough. That's good. There you go.
Much better, Chris.
Yeah,
Very good. The right equipment. We had a lineup of 9 different slicing knives with a price range of $20 all the way up to $200.
Wait. I got to see the $200 one.
We have a beautiful Japanese slicing knife for $200.
Is everybody in Japan make expensive knives now?
Well, certainly there are expensive knives, but they're all gorgeous, Chris. That counts for something.
For $200? We'd hope so.
You know, the blades on these knives have a couple of different design variations. They can be different lengths. We like extra length at 10 to 12 inches. They can be different depths. You can have a different degree of flexibility. You can have, you see these hollowed out pieces along the length of the blade. That's called a Granton edge or a Kulenschliff edge, where you're taking some of the metal away from the blade. Originally, we thought that this actually reduced the surface tension between the knife blade and the food. In fact, what it does is make the blade edge a little bit thinner. Now, you can see in this clip that we want to show all of the testing that we did. We tested 180 pounds of ham, roast beef, roast turkey, brisket. We also sliced through very delicate smoked salmon. And we came up with a couple of design characteristics that made a big difference. One of them is weight. We wanted to have sufficient weight at about 6.5 ounces or so. Another one was actually tapering, and the knife blades taper in 2 different ways. You can see that right here. It tapers from the spine of the blade, which is the top, to the cutting edge. For this, you want to have a thinner cutting edge for nice thin slices, and that's what you get with a nice thin taper down to the bottom. It also tapers from the heel of the blade along its length to the tip. And our favorite knives had a more dramatic taper, and that enhances the feeling of control. Okay. In the end, the knife that we liked best was this one. It's called the Forstner by Victorinox Fibrox 12-inch Granton Edge slicing knife, and it had all the features that we liked. It's got this grippy handle. It's got extra length at 12 inches. This was the knife that actually tapered 35% from the very heel of the blade to the very tip of the blade. The flexibility was good. It was just the right balance between flexible and rigid so that we got nice thin slices but felt power and control. It had sufficient weight. It was 6.5 ounces, which was about the perfect weight for our range of testers. And the price was right. It was only $44.95.
So Forstner wins again. They actually won our 8-inch chef's knife contest here not too long ago at a $25 knife. And now their 12-inch slicer from Forstner, $45.
Yep.
Was a winner.